I believe I found the magic to making Call of Duty feel fun again. All I did was turn crossplay off, then I started to get lobbies full of noobs like this. Well, not exactly. Lobbies can end up being like this, but this is one of the more extreme examples that you'd rarely, if never, run into when you have crossplay enabled, which has been a thing in Call of Duty since Modern Warfare 2019. With crossplay enabled, I find my lobbies are typically what people like to call a sweat fest, where you have to try hard to do average. You're competing with enemies who don't miss shots, or with enemies who have crazy movement, you know, they're YY spamming all the time. It can be a struggle to go positive in these types of lobbies, or just to get any streaks going in general. And a lot of players hate this about modern Call of Duty games. I play primarily on Xbox with a controller, have the entire time I played Call of Duty. I have played on PC a few times here and there, but again, primarily Xbox. But when I compare Call of Duty now to Call of Duty pre-Modern Warfare 2019, where crossplay wasn't a thing whatsoever, a lot of gameplay styles that I compete against now feel, I guess the way to put it is, unnatural for console controller play. And this was really apparent when I came back and played Modern Warfare 3 after a 6-month break last year. So I decided to finally bite the bullet and turn crossplay off, and it was a night and day difference. Honestly, I think this has a lot to do with having mixed hardware and mixed inputs that comes hand in hand when playing with PC players. As I was planning this video, I was originally getting to the whole Xbox versus PlayStation versus PC debate when it comes to controller and mouse and keyboard and cheaters and hardware advantages. I scrapped all that for this video. Maybe we can discuss that in a future video, but I'm keeping it simple for this video. What I notice when I turn crossplay off is that lobbies tend to feel more like old school Call of Duty, where there are good lobbies and bad lobbies, but it's much more consistent or much more average. There aren't these big swings from game to game, which not going to open up that can of worms in this video as well, but it just feels different. I also noticed that the gameplay mechanics of my enemies and my teammates feel more, I don't know if natural is the right word, but they just feel more natural for Xbox. Now, the reason for that is yet to be determined. Is it because of cheats? Is it because of enhancers? Is it the mouse and keyboard advantage? Is it players being better on some of the other platforms? You know, I have some theories. Again, we may explore that in another video, but an example of some of these gameplay mechanics that I'm picking up on is strafing in gunfights. You can only strafe so fast naturally on a controller with a joystick. The joystick has dead zones, which limits how fast you can strafe back and forth. Even if you spin the joystick in a 360-degree motion, you can only go so fast. And it's a night and day difference when you compare that to someone who's strafing on a keyboard or with an enhancement or script or something that can strafe much more faster. It's more instantaneous. And it's something that very good players and movement-based players like to take advantage of. But again, it's a night and day difference when you have a natural controller player versus a mouse and keyboard player. This also applies to plays you can pull off with movement in general, or just being able to snap onto enemies or laser people across the map or someone behind cover. Simply reaction time differences due to being able to adjust more settings depending on what platform you are on. When I have crossplay disabled, the gameplay feels more standardized and fair, versus when I have crossplay on, I feel like it's just a completely different game. And it's interesting because on Xbox, when you have crossplay disabled, you can still play with PC players who are running the game through the Xbox app, or for people who have it on Game Pass, for example. And it will denote these players in the lobby. They'll have a smaller Xbox logo with a little PC tower next to it. And I've noticed when these players are in lobbies of mine, they have similar gameplay mechanics that I experience with crossplay on when you're playing with, PC and PS5 players and things like that. It's a pattern. Now, don't get me wrong, a seasoned controller player can pull off similar mechanics and movements, but on average, for, mouse and keyboard versus controller, they're two entirely different games, and it boggles my mind that crossplay is forced, in ranked play, for example, and they don't even, denote player input at that. Again, this is a topic for another video. I'm not gonna go about the input differences anymore, but it's just an interesting pattern that may make more sense once you actually turn crossplay off and on and feel how those games play out. If you haven't tried turning crossplay off, give it a try and then come back here and share your experience. I'm very curious to hear about the experience on all platforms because mine is exclusive to Xbox and controller. Like the video, get subscribed, check out one of the videos on the screen, and I'll catch you on the next one. Deuces.